Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be learning English by diving into a conversation about a really, uh, a really tricky job offer.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever gotten like a dream job offer, but something didn't feel quite right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today in our source material.
Okay, cool.
So the source material is a conversation between two friends, Alex and Ella,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to actually hear how Ella is dealing with this job offer. And to make it even easier to understand, we are going to act it out,
Fun.
like a little play for you.
I like it.
Okay, so I am struggling with this job offer.
What's wrong? You got the job at the marketing firm, right? I thought that was your dream job.
It is, but I'm hesitant.
Hesitant, why?
The commute is so long and I worry about work-life balance.
Those are important things to think about. Have you thought about relocating, moving closer to the office?
I did, but my expenses will go up a lot if I move.
That's true. Well, maybe you can negotiate with them. Ask about working from home some days.
That's a good idea. Maybe I can ask them about that.
You should. It doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay, thanks for your help, Alex.
You're welcome, Ella.
So there you have it. That was a little snippet of the conversation between Alex and Ella.
Yeah, Ella's got this great opportunity, but she's worried about some very real challenges.
Yeah.
A long commute and concerns about work-life balance.
It's something that so many people can relate to.
Yeah,
And there are some great words and expressions in there that are really useful for talking about these kinds of situations.
definitely.
So let's break down some of those key words and phrases, because understanding them will help you follow along with similar conversations in English.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so the first one that stood out to me was Ella said she was hesitant.
Uh-huh.
What does hesitant mean?
So hesitant means you're not sure about something, you're a little unsure or doubtful. In this situation, Ella is hesitant to accept the job because of the commute and the work-life balance issues.
So it's like she's excited about the job, but she's also a little worried.
Exactly. She's not saying no to the job, but she's not 100% sure if she should say yes.
She's hesitant.
Yeah.
Hesitant. That's a good word to know.
Yeah, it is.
Now, another important word was relocating. Alex suggested that Ella think about relocating closer to the office.
Right.
What does that word?
Relocating just means moving to a new place. So in this conversation, Alex is suggesting that Ella move closer to her new job so that her commute wouldn't be so long.
Ah, so she could live closer to work and not have to travel so far every day.
Right.
Makes sense. But Ella was worried about the cost of moving.
Yeah, she said her expenses would go up.
And then Alex had another suggestion. He said she could try to negotiate with the company.
Yes. Negotiate means to talk to someone and try to reach an agreement. So Alex is suggesting that Ella talk to the company and see if they can work something out, maybe working from home some days.
So she could try to find a way to work that fits her life better.
Exactly. She could negotiate with the company, and this is an important word to remember. When you want to try to make an agreement or find a compromise, you can negotiate.
Negotiate. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So these words, hesitant, relocating,
Yeah.
negotiate.
Yes.
They're useful for talking about work and life choices and really just making decisions in general.
Absolutely. And, these are the kinds of words that you'll hear all the time when you're listening to English conversation.
Yeah. And the more you hear them, the more you'll start to understand how to use them yourself.
Exactly.
So listening is a really good way to learn.
It is.
It's like learning by doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much more fun than just studying grammar rules.
Way more fun. Yeah. And, this whole conversation with Ella and her job offer, it really highlights a topic that's becoming more and more important these days, work-life balance.
It's true. It seems like everyone is talking about work-life balance these days.
Yeah.
What exactly does it mean?
Work-life balance is about finding that sweet spot between your job and your personal life, making sure that work doesn't take over your whole life and that you have time for the other things, family, friends, hobbies, and just relaxing.
So it's about not letting your job become your whole life.
Exactly. Having time for work, A&D, time for yourself. And it's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially in today's world. Everything's so busy.
I can see why it's easy to get caught up in work and forget about the other things that matter.
Yeah.
So why is work-life balance so important?
Well, if you don't have a good balance, you can start to feel really stressed, burned out, unhappy, and that can affect your health, your relationships, even your work performance.
Oh, wow. Sounds like it can have a really big impact on your whole life.
It really can, but when you have a good work-life balance, you feel happier, healthier, more productive, you have more energy for your work, and you have more time to enjoy the things that you love outside of work.
So it's not just about being happy, it's about being a better worker, too.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
So what can people do to improve their work-life balance? I mean, Ella's thinking about relocating to be closer to work, but she was worried about her expenses.
Right, and moving isn't always the best solution or the easiest solution. There are other things you can try, like setting boundaries between your work and your personal time. This could mean not checking work emails after a certain hour or making sure that you have time for hobbies and activities that you enjoy.
So creating some space for yourself, some time, that's just for you, not for work.
Exactly. And, that looks different for everyone. For some people, it might be about getting regular exercise or spending time out in nature. For others, it might be reading a good book or catching up with friends. The important thing is to find what works for you and make it a priority.
It sounds like finding a good work-life balance is really about getting to know yourself and what makes you feel happy and balanced, and then making choices that support that.
That's a great way to put it. It's about self awareness and making conscious choices that really align with your values and priorities.
Now, Alex also suggested that Ella try to negotiate with the company about working from home some days. Do you think that's a good idea?
It can be, working from home or having flexible work arrangements can be a really great way to improve your work life balance. It can give you more control over your schedule and allow you to, spend more time with your family or on other important things.
It sounds like it could be a good solution for some people, but I imagine it's not always possible to work from home.
You're right. It depends on the job and the company. Some jobs require you to be in a specific location, like you said, like a hospital or a store. But even if you can't work from home full time, there might be other ways to negotiate for more flexibility, like adjusting your start and end times or having the option to work from home a couple of days a week.
It seems like the key is communication, talking to your employer and seeing what's possible.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that you have the right to advocate for your needs and your well being. You don't have to just accept a situation that's making you unhappy or unhealthy.
So if you're struggling with work-life balance, don't be afraid to speak up and see what options are available to you.
Exactly. And if you're looking for a new job, think about companies that prioritize work life balance and offer flexible work arrangements. It's becoming more and more common, and there are a lot of companies out there that understand the importance of happy and balanced employees.
That's great. It's good to know that things are changing and that more companies are recognizing the value of work-life balance.
Definitely. It's a positive trend, and hopefully it will continue to grow in the future.
So we've talked about work-life balance and why it's important. We've also explored a couple of possible solutions like relocating and negotiating with your employer. But are there any other things that people could do to create a better balance in their lives?
Well, one thing that can be really helpful is to be mindful of your time and how you're spending it. It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and lose track of where your time is going.
It's like we're always rushing from one thing to the next, and we never really stop to think about what we're doing or why we're doing it.
Exactly. So, taking some time to reflect on your priorities and how you're spending your time can be really helpful. You might realize that you're spending a lot of time on things that aren't really important to you, and you can start to make changes to, create more space for the things that do matter.
So it's about being intentional with your time
Mm.
and making sure that you're spending it on the things that are truly valuable to you.
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices about how you spend your time rather than just letting life happen to you.
That's such a great point. It's a great reminder that we have more control over our lives than we sometimes realize We can make choices that support our well-being and create a more balanced and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. It's all about taking ownership of your time in your life and making choices that align with your values and priorities.
And sometimes that means saying no to things, right?
Yeah.
Even if they seem like good opportunities. If they're going to throw off your balance, it's okay to say no.
You're absolutely right. It's important to set boundaries and protect your time. It's okay to say no to things that don't align with your priorities or that are going to add unnecessary stress to your life.
It's about knowing your limits and respecting them.
Exactly. And that can be tough sometimes, especially in a culture that often glorifies busyness and overwork. But it's so important for your well being to prioritize your own needs and set healthy boundaries.
So finding a good work-life balance is about more than just finding a job with flexible hours. It's about making conscious choices about how you spend your time, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being.
That's a great summary. It's a holistic approach to life that takes into account all aspects of your well being,
Mm.
physical, emotional, mental, and social.
And it's something that we can all work on no matter what our job or life situation is.
Absolutely. It's a lifelong journey of self discovery and growth, and it's something that we can always strive to improve.
It's interesting to think about how this all connects back to Ella's situation. She was hesitant about the job offer because of the long commute and her concerns about work-life balance.
Right. And it's so easy to just get stuck on those initial concerns. But like we talked about, there are a lot of different ways to approach a problem.
Yeah, we talked about relocating and negotiating for flexible work arrangements.
Hmm.
But, there might be other creative solutions that Ella could explore too.
Totally. Maybe she could look into carpooling with colleagues who live in her area or explore public transportation options.
Oh, that's a great idea. And maybe she could even propose a trial period of working remotely.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Give it a try, see how it goes.
It would give her a chance to experience the benefits of working from home and give the company a chance to see how it works too.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
So even in a situation that seems really challenging, there are often a lot of creative solutions and opportunities for growth if you just think outside the box.
I love that.
This has been such a great conversation. We've covered so much ground,
We really have.
from key vocabulary like hesitant, relocating, and negotiate,
Mm-hmm.
to these broader themes of work-life balance and finding creative solutions to life's challenges.
Yeah. And hopefully we gave Ella some new things to think about too.
I think so. It's amazing how just exploring one simple conversation can lead to so many new insights and possibilities.
It really is. And it's a good reminder that learning English is about more than just, the words and the grammar rules.
Right.
It's about using the language to connect with others and to, really explore the world around you.
I couldn't agree more. Well, we've covered a lot in this deep dive, but there's always more to explore.
Always.
What are your thoughts on the future of work? Do you think flexible work arrangements will become like the norm?
Hmm. That's a really good question and something I think we should all be thinking about because, the way we work is constantly evolving. So it'll be really interesting to see how technology and societal values and individual needs shape the future of work.
It's definitely a topic we'll be keeping an eye on. What do you think the future of work holds? Let us know your thoughts and ideas in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe and like for more fascinating conversations and language tips.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.